Welcome into our Los Angeles studios. I'm Malika Andrews, and Adrian Wojnarowski is with us because we have a trade. Woj, what can you tell us about D'Angelo Russell heading to the Los Angeles Lakers?
Exactly that, Malika. Three-team deal that reunites D'Angelo Russell in the Los Angeles Lakers and sends out Russell Westbrook, that 2027 first-round pick. I'm told it's protected 1 through 4 in that season. That'll go to the Jazz, and the Minnesota Timberwolves, they'll acquire Mike Conley Jr. from the Jazz, 3 second-round picks, and the Jazz are also sending 2 more players to the Lakers, Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley. A massive deal tonight that brings D'Angelo Russell back to the team that drafted him out of Ohio State. And now Russell Westbrook, he's on his way to the Jazz. And now this is a Utah team, 15 first-round picks, protected and lightly unprotected through 2029 with all the good young players they have. So a Laker team that wanted to get better, that improves. I think certainly a starting point guard in Russell, who will be a free agent, who the Lakers could look to sign long-term after the season. And, good role players, Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley. Clearly, Rob Pelinka finally used one of those precious first-round picks. They still have their 2029 pick. And now the Lakers, 2 games out in the play-in in the West, they try to climb their way back.
Just a massive trade. Woj, thank you so much. So one Russell is headed out of Los Angeles while another is headed in here with Kendrick Perkins, Shanae Agumake, Richard Jefferson. Richard, your immediate reaction to this trade?
My immediate reaction is, look, we'd known that it wasn't a fit. I like D'Angelo Russell. I love that they have more NBA players on their roster. Hachimura, what they got. Is he a game changer? No, right? But he is another NBA player that they have. Vanderbilt, same. Beasley, same. And now you got D'Angelo Russell. It is a huge step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. D'Angelo Russell been balling out of control for the Timberwolves. Why did the Timberwolves make that move? Because you want Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns to coexist but grow chemistry outside the court. And with doing that, now you take away Karl Anthony Towns' best friend and make them go together.
This guy, career highs in 2-point, 3-point, and free throw percentage.
Yep.
The Lakers needed shooting, and they got a better shooter.
Well, now they have 2 questions. D'Angelo Russell, extension. What could that number potentially be if it's in Los Angeles? And Russell Westbrook, headed to the Utah Jazz. Does he stay there? If not, who could potentially be on that? What could the Lakers possibly do here to upgrade this roster? What's the latest as we approach the trade deadline?
And Malika, the discussions with the Lakers, Minnesota, Utah, are in a fairly advanced stage at this hour. A deal that would land the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, is part of a 3-team deal. Mike Conley Jr. potentially to the Timberwolves. I think right now that deal, being held up just based on Minnesota wanting to get the draft capital, the value they want to move D'Angelo Russell on from a team that wants to be in the playoffs in the West, and a player, Russell, who's played very well, especially of late for this team. So those conversations are ongoing at this hour. But certainly in that deal, of course, Russell Westbrook and one of the Laker first-round picks would be going to the Jazz in the trade. But it has not been agreed to, and there's still really a haggling going on about what the Timberwolves would get for draft capital in this deal. And certainly this is a multi-player deal, multi-picks. And for the Lakers, a chance, I think, certainly to bolster their roster as they try to get into the play-in, perhaps even the Western Conference playoffs.
Very interesting. Woj, thank you. For now, we inch closer to that trade deadline. But this is really interesting because we know that the Lakers, they have wanted to make sure that if they are going to deal one of these first-round picks, it is for absolutely the right deal. And Woj is reporting, as we just heard, advanced talks. It's the first time we've heard that. That could be a deal that sends D'Angelo Russell, that sends Jared Vanderbilt, that sends Malik Beasley. This has not been agreed upon yet. They're just in the stages of discussing this, Richard. But shipping out Russell Westbrook, what do you think of that?
I think at the end of the day, the sample size is large enough that this doesn't work. And understand when you have 2 MVPs, you have Russell, who has been doing everything that they have asked of him to come off the bench. He's probably one of the, if the team was doing better, he would be in consideration for Sixth Man of the Year. The numbers that he's put off the bench have been historic, double-doubles, everything that he's done, but it still doesn't fit. And so this isn't a trade Russell Westbrook because he's not a good player or because he hasn't done what he has. It's because it doesn't fit. And if you have to pick between your big three, you're going to go LeBron 1, AD, and then Russell becomes an asset. And so when I look at this, does it fix the Lakers' problems? Hell no. They are so far away from fixing the problems. But they're adding pieces. They were 6 pieces away from being a conference contender. Now they're 3 pieces away if they're able to pull off this trade. They're still far away, but they are closer than they've been in the last 2 years since they won a championship, and that's something that I think is a step in the right direction.
Well, you talk about fit, right, on the court, but it wasn't a fit in the locker room. And we saw the video circulating last night of Anthony Davis, and people was wondering why he wasn't standing up when Braun hit that fadeaway shot. Well, it was because the energy was gone. And it wasn't because of LeBron James, actually, not that he didn't want to celebrate his brother, but think about it. Darvin Ham and Russell Westbrook exchanged words at halftime. All of a sudden, Russell Westbrook is throwing turnovers. That is draining. That is draining, and that drains the energy of your team. Now, all of a sudden, we watched the historic night last night, and the Lakers, it was hyped up in the arena. Y'all was there. All of a sudden, we get to this point, and it's like, oh, Russell Westbrook got to get traded ASAP. It's draining. It's draining. That matters in the locker room. And I hate to say it because Russ had to embrace the role of coming in as the 6th man.
And when you think about fit, when it pertains to D'Angelo Russell, I think it's unique how everything comes back to where it sort of starts for him. But the Lakers right now, I believe they're 26th in three-point percentage. And so you really need a secondary ball handler that can shoot. That did not work fit-wise with Russ. And maybe that's why this is a move that they make to try to bolster. Again, Richard, yes, they're like 2 to 3 pieces away, but it's better than being 4 to 5.
If they make the trade, they're 2 or 3 pieces away.
Precisely.
And if they make the trade, it would be a full circle moment for D'Angelo Russell, who was the number 2 pick for the Los Angeles Lakers in 2015. We have 5 hours to get into all sorts of trades
I think we need more
in our
time.
trade deadline.
Dave Roberts, we need more time. This is one of the most amazing days, one of the most amazing crews. It's beautiful out. We have 19 hours of basketball to talk about for the next 2 days. I am excited.
Well, if you're excited, then let's get to our opening tip, friends.
What you laughing about?
LeBron James. He added to his Hall of Fame resume last night by passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time scorer in NBA history. LeBron achieved this monumental goal with a little, what was it?
A little
midi fadeaway late in the 3rd quarter against the Thunder. LeBron did it in 150 fewer games than when Kareem set the mark in 1984. And if you ever wondered, what every single point LeBron James has ever scored looks like, well, don't worry, because Kurt Goldsberry and Vanna Bouchon, they have you covered. Just over 15,000 points with the Cavs the first time around, and then a quick 4-year stop for almost 8,000 points in Miami, and then it was back to the Cavs for episode 2 and almost another 8K, and now 7,352 points with the Los Angeles Lakers. And counting. Yes, ma'am. So 3 of the 4 of us, we were in the building last night, and you played Kendrick Perkins with LeBron. So, Chene, I'm going to start with you here. What was it like for you? What sticks out in your mind being in the room where it happened?
Walking over with you in the room where it happened. Sorry, we're getting on our little roll time. Walking over, you could just feel the excitement just all over. Don't roll your eyes, Richard. All over and around crypto. But then going